Onivia, League of Legends highlights.
Neutralizing waves against the Jace, which I don't expect, but instead going into the Mordekaiser. So Mordekaiser is going to have a rough time in that lane early on.
A bit more with the vertical jungling up towards Khan.
Khan is completely just dominating this matchup, right?
And now he picks up the smite as well. So the invade comes through, and LNG on top of that stolen objective. Now with the blue buff, they continue forward as Chris looks for the engage with the Zenith Blade. Maybe too long as LNG stayed in this jungle with the kickback. Re-engage comes through, but it's already first blood. Given over to Doomby as the arrow a bit late as well as he got back to the lane, then picked up the 3 bits of turret plating as well. So right now Doomby will be sitting on a bit of gold as Khan has come on in to give us the surprise. Flash over the wall, the commitment's there, and this time around the Doomby flash works out better. Easy kill for FPX to make number 2.
And with kind of like meat shields in front of him, I believe LWX will have enough damage to get the work done.
Look towards that in the top lane. It's the turret lead in that mid lane with 2 kills as well, with the stability of the bottom lane. LNG all they
can't dive on Mordekaiser. We've talked about this. The fact that they did get him so low from the poke is actually pretty amazing, but...
Yeah, and then he Death Realms and only manages to get out. So kudos over to Chenlun, who does survive, but the turret goes down in the end as well, while the rest of FPX move mid.
But I'll say, we see LNG pushing the bottom side, but still, you're giving up so much pressure on the rest of the map, and okay, you're getting a turret, but FPX are also getting Rift Herald, so champions are in your composition. They're really the kind of sole focus on how your team's going to end up playing the game. So if FPX take fights right now, they're looking really good.
As long as they dodge away from someone like Maple, as Chris goes over the wall, but maybe a little bit too deep. He doesn't have the support of Doomby, who doesn't have his flash either. Kicked over the wall. XX now wants to follow it up. The Sonic Wave connects, but almost dies with the Shock Blast combo. Yeah! That's the snipe by the pinky toe. Down goes XX over the wall, the range. Probably not that much, but he's got a Rift Herald, and he's got his team pushing mid. FPX taking all with a 4K gold leader now, taking the fight as well. As the turret goes down, no more aggro. The damage onto Dwan as he goes gold, but Khan a little bit too deep here. He's in the Death Realm, and he'll die. With Chenlun coming out, Chris now has to flash away. LNG have picked up one, and they've got low health bars. The flash forward until the Blast Cone that I believe was hit by Chenlun. A bit unfortunate as Doomby now joins the fight, but Maple doesn't care. He's going to flash forward, and LWX has to dodge away from the sleepy teddy bear trouble bubble, whatever you want to call it. But FPX in the end, they get away. They get the turret. All the way back right now. Probably interested in securing vision towards that top side with Baron coming up in a minute. Dodge the trouble bubble yet again. Doomby keeps firing this out. FPX really committing to the top lane turret, but they haven't seen XX with a 3-man kick now. The Wombo comes through. That was great, but the follow-up needed as the Soul Flare slows them down. Trouble lands yet again in Maple. Now looking for the nuke, but blocked away by Chris. Doomby ignited, has to flash away, but Light wants to follow this up. This Ash ain't got no chill. With XX over the wall, he misses the Sonic Wave, but it doesn't matter because LNG can still pace forward. LWX low on matter what. Chenlun comes in for the flank on top of Khan. They've got this 80 carry though, over the wall, over again. LNG have brought this game back.
Yeah, for a good flash Death Realm play. Nope, they want to go for Baron.
I mean, he hit Light on the side as well, just notice. He's at ready. He's going to hit that brush. And good dodge away from LNG, but the Dragon already gone. Versus 3, Chris now going in for the engage. Soul Flare in the choke as well. LNG should not have walked in here, but Chenlun into the Death Realm. He'll take Chris, but at this point in time, FPX say, come to daddy. Over the wall he flashes, but Khan ready to slice and dice. Thank you for the kill. Thank you for Baron, essentially after getting 2.
Like, look at the side waves. FPX have done such a great job of making sure those are constantly pushing out when they're looking for these objectives.
As we're now going to look towards the fight as Dwan is just dead. Doomby over the wall. But we don't want to see that. The cameraman is tilted. He's fallen. Double kill goes over to Doomby. And as we return to the Baron, I'm sorry. I think our cameraman was...
Now just... They could play through. I'd want to see them play through 2 lanes, not necessarily 3.
Pushing down mid here. We've got 4 members with the TP used by Khan in the bottom side.
Keep your eyes on XX, so he's looking for the flank.
That's the ultimate onto Chris. Light starting to hit pretty hard here as the kick goes back. It's onto Doomby. They've caught him out of position. FPX have walked down mid confidently. The True Shot rush to try and get the kill on the backside as Khan now joins in. The problem is FPX are still so far ahead that great play from LNG meant nothing.
It's so unreliable. It feels so hard to execute against what FPX have done. They kite out the engage well. They come back in, and they should be able to get 2 inhibitors.
At the very least. First one goes down. They're consistent on pushing mid. Light's still here. You have to say that Light and Dwan still standing is kind of reminiscent of this game in the past couple of fights. We won't be able to defend the second inhibitor, but to defend the game, that should be possible. Light moving forward. Good little fancy feat here as he chases after the clip. Definitely discuss after this one. But FPX now on the top side. Baron buff has expired as of now as Light gets an arrow again and onto LWX, does some damage. He's kiting around nicely, dodging the poke, but into the backline. Chris finds his way once again, but will drop a little bit too deep as Light does the buff. Watching Doombee's poke. Doombee has been full items for a while. What happens when you get a cheap build as XX at half health get the steal? Oh my god! Sonic Wave. That's stupid.
There's no excuse for that one. There's nothing to say.
Chenlun, I don't think you win this 1v1. Doombee will come out of the Death Realm in a second, and after stealing the Mountain Dragon, LNG run into danger. The poke is good as XX still finds his mark, but onto the side, I'm not sure. Maple trying to carry this one as well, but look at Light. The Ash 80 carry. If they weren't so far behind, LNG probably would have won that fight. But Dwan, the only person left standing is Khan, and Crisp will take down the Remnants.
And that's probably just going to be the end of the game. Super minions are already...
Patience hit, I would say, as Crisp and Khan just going to work their way through these turrets. No death time is going to stop this one either. And interesting cops flying here in game number 1. But FPX execute better. They take us to match point.
That game went as expected, but also didn't go as expected from the way we saw FPX draft and play this game.
But a great way to end, nonetheless, right?
It was interesting.
It was interesting.
I was proven wrong with the... Yeah, and Corky, not the style that
sorry.
DMB wants to
you're
go
gonna
with.
be disappointed.
But I like it this time, actually. You're right. These two compositions are so...
Damage yet here for the early game, Silas.
Yeah, and he has to go answer that wave. So now LNG actually could look to contest the end, but...
Here he comes. Flag and drag away. And Doombee should note that Maple still has his available, but the flash forward of Skondom Duck. XX has to respect that. With now the bottom lane of Dwan following up as well, but the flash forward here from Chris, they're going to stop him first. And now with the real Galliot coming through, Tien is in a lot of trouble, gets first blooded by Light. As on top of LWX he goes, it is a trade, but one more hit needed as Maple flashes forward for the Justice Punch. A messy scrap in the bottom lane, netting out a win for LNG. As Doombee gets Wind of War, Maple gets a triple kill, and LNG...
Look for that fight, while XX was only level 4 compared to Tien's level 5.
I mean, we saw him burn his flash as well, too. And XX had to get out of the fight. And
then he's just going to destroy the rest of FPX's front line and just win.
Best scaling in the game, as far as I'm concerned. As we might give Light some kills here. It's 2 versus 3, but the bullet time, even though it's interrupted, does enough damage. Chris picks up the kill. A 1-for-1 trade. With LWX doing a bit of getting past this without getting spotted, but he might not need to. The hero's entrance up.
Doinby does. Doinby's TP actually just came up.
Flag and drag on top of LWX, and LWX doesn't have a flash available. He's just dead. Maple jumps in for the 4th kill of the game, and for FPX, how do they come back from this? As XX gets low, but Doomby jumps on the Cataclysm, locked on down. Chris with the engagement, the damage, way too much, and LNG are dissecting FPX in game 2, as the chase will follow up. Tien doesn't get Shield of Duranda, but FPX know that Crisp must die.
And I love that because they were a bit, not late, but they had to get coming out from XX, having the confidence to make these plays. Yep. Maple, of course, playing well, and Light has consistently surprised. I'd say even towards the end of last split where we saw Asura kind of start...
Sorry, sir, I have to pause you because Chenlun might be in trouble. He goes to the bouncy house and Khan picks up a kill, but he has no mana, has to flash away. Maple is humongous.
Oh, God.
The giant of the dragons will pick up a kill onto Khan as a response, while LWX is ready to die again. He says, don't give it to Aphelios. He flashes for no reason, and Light now has a 3 kill.
In jungle.
I don't know. The bottom lane right now really struggling on the side of FPX as Chris is going to spot out Maple. Bit of a surprise with Soul Flare, but do they have the damage? Maple, again, word is humongous. He flashes over the wall, but Doomby matches him as well. The Chain Lash to slow down, but the Winds of War does quite a bit. Turn here onto Doomby is very viable as Phase Rush comes in. Cataclysm down, all on top of Doomby. He steals the Cyclone, but the Winds of War again. 7th kill of the game for Maple, and FPX are grouped up. Crisp walks into the waiting arms of happy Maple, who has a double kill, who has Winds of War again. Into the backline, LNG are walking forward as Khan gets rolled back in. The bullet time lined up nicely, but it doesn't matter. Chenlun shares in the spoils of war. 13 kills.
Fights right now, LNG can just look towards Dragon and
As LWX again, he's just dead. And Light now has 4 kills as well.
This is really disappointing. Come out from LNG, a nice proactive play, but almost everything else has been FPX running into LNG, thinking they're making mistakes. Running into
with Khan, right?
They came back and they were playing horribly with Khan, but it wasn't Khan. Remember,
No.
me and you even had this discussion off screen that it felt like their bottom lane was making more mistakes. Tien wasn't playing as well, but
Okay. Well, we've got Cataclysm here in the mid lane. Flash away. Dwan is going to get followed up with him. It's got a duck. Good solar flare. FPX will find this pick onto the Nautilus. LNG sticking around for a bit too long.
let's also remember that
Where Maple is now while we are speaking of mid laners. Level 11 Galio here with the Hero's Entrance, while LNG going to use the Herald to push mid. Turret almost goes down without it, but after the Herald takes out the LPL, because we do have good mid laners.
Even if you think about it, the second tier team, or even first in 2015 was always HQ, and Westor was
School friends, the long-time colleagues.
He has that even on LNG with Stake. They
That's
played
very,
together
very
for a
true.
while. We just need to make sure that Light can get in the fight as well.
TP coming in. Doomby did reset to pick up the mana as, look, here's the engage from Dwan onto Chris, who flashes away. It's a one-man ulti from the Aphelios as Chenlong goes on in, but no one is with him just yet. Remember, for the Galio ulti, as Doomby picks up the own Cyclone, but LNG are separated. Subjugate used by Tien as well, but LNG are pushing forward as Cataclysm will find its Mark II with the bullet time on top. The Hero's Entrance is defensive, but they're still onto Chris. They still have the damage, and Light is throwing out some shurikens of his own. One pick here.
Go back to the same setup.
Still being chunked down. Dwan's coming in red hot as well. FPX, 4 people here. You talked about the TP now being used, but over the wall they've hit finally, and Aphelios ulti with the full time comes in as well. Chenlong has joined in, but LNG are getting dangerously low here. Khan with a massive call of the Forge God. Osgono Duck doesn't connect, and XX will be happy about that with Gravitum on the backside. Light keeps him at bay, but Doomby finds him with the pillar. Locked on down as well. XX on the grand escape. Slowed down with the shield, but not slow enough. Gravitum in once again as Light tries to turn this around. The Zenith Blade doesn't connect from Chris, but in comes Chenlong. At the speed of Light, the flash forward with shield as Duran, and Maple still as fed as he is, ready to launch on top of 2. One for the knock-up, and now another for the kill in Khan.
And they went a bit too hasty at first, but still the other members of FPX don't head over and take it.
We're at a point when that Dragon gets looked at seriously. Maple's ult will be up yet again, but focus on the Baron here, and LNG's goal.
The fight's going as you'd expect. Who's going to come out on top? Well, now we have a 3 to win any fight going forward, but we need to remember LNG can make mistakes. FPX do have great players. Hard because even if you all in on Maple, he has the taunt, he has the Zani's Hourglass, he can just buy so much time for the rest of his members of his team.
Well, I'm going to start the engage here, though, in front of turret. Khan's still tanky enough as Call the Forge God comes through. The bullet time lands onto the support, the flash away. They've found Light, and again, you talked about this Aphelios, but now he kites his way back as the AoE starting to fly. Watch Light in the back line. No one near him anymore, and that's going to be game because Maple has found his way in now to the front lines as well. LNG, no mistakes here, Lyric.
And I'm so happy to see, we saw after game 1, they were still so talkative and they weren't down in spirit, and that leads them to picking up the second game.
Forward they go. All 5 members still healthy enough as Light is the one who will not stop with this push. Baron buff pushing the minions in as Dwan finds another engage onto Khan. He can't get the knockup with the Searing Charge. They're onto the back line on LWX. He will get a kill as a response, but he's lost his tank. At least they got Maple, though. So I guess the game's not sitting there with the rest of LNG hovering between.
Yeah, they're hoping that FPX makes a mistake and walks into their jungle, but
Depends. Good dodge away as Tien is still going to get locked down. Nevertheless, the ultimate goes onto LWX in the back line, but Dwan without that ultimate won't matter too much as the turret at this point. Just getting vision around it. Infernal Soul.
Hasn't spawned in time, right? G can't just take this patiently, though. They have super minions pushing in the bot lane.
Actually channeling into the base right now as the engage comes through from Dwan. They pull off of the Baron. FPX are cornered around as LWX is going to be the target. The knock-up slides through the whole team. It's called the Forge God does land, but here comes the Wombo and LNG. All they need to do is lock down with a taunt. In the back line, Maple gets his mark yet again, and there are some trade-offs here, but Light still lives. Khan left as a remnant of FPX, and this one's going to game 3.
I'm going to be honest, getting excited about that teamfight win is pretty hard with how far ahead LNG are, but the thing I can get excited about is an LNG win.
Yeah, that's right. One that you wouldn't expect against a team like FPX. 11k gold lead, 32 minutes into this game. They'll close this one out. And Light and Maple, it's their story this time around. Big carry pants put on here by some big carry members in LNG.
honestly, it was a three-man show. XX, Maple, and Light all showing up. Not Shenlong's fault, just nothing really happened in the top side. It was all about these
swaps here as well, because FPX, just remember, we have seen in the LPL where the Galio has been played support, and the Nautilus, as of course we talked about, is still there. Let's hold
sort of objective fights when you do have, like, we're looking at the comps, right? And we see Jarvan Zoe on one side and Graves Galio on the other. FPX definitely more item reliant.
I'm going to have to pause you again, Lyric. Khan's in so much trouble. Chain Lash comes through, but outside of the invisibility, the flag and drag should be an easy secure, but he's waiting for the flash to burn at Khan. The damage comes through. XX randomly flashes as Khan. That was a bit of a whoopsie to give first blood over to XX. It's been spotted out by this. I don't believe he has, but there's a control ward down here. Now, it's a bit of a game of cat and mouse. There's Dwan and Light. There is Gravitum available. It's a good little Shield of Durant comes through, or rather, Shield of Daybreak, I should say. Chris has to flash away. Light goes on top of him as well, and here comes Galio, but it's a little bit too late. Chris is dead. Dwan at half health. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but the teleport was cancelled up by Khan. I think they should have let him come in to die. Is Doomby going to go for the re-engage of Winds of War? The damage is there. It's just like Galio from game number 2, but Doomby can't secure
the dragon.
Okay. Yeah. The safer of the two options. What do we roll? Infernal, unfortunately, as Tien has found himself Dwan, and Chris walks past the turret, forcing the LNG bottom lane off while Doomby was ready to roam down as well. The threat from the Galio ult that you talked about. Shield Duran's going to come on in as that is a trouble bubble that needs to be avoided. Doomby flashes away. LNG moving their bottom lane as well. Dwan comes in with the Soul's Flare. The Justice Punch skips past him, but Crisp is by himself until Doomby makes the re-engage, but it only hits one. FPX have walked into an unfavorable situation, but down goes the AD carry first and continue forward for LNG. XX picks up Tien, and Crisp and LWX have to leave now. Maple flashes and hits the goalpost as Chris wants to sacrifice his life and try and kill Dwan in the process, but LWX, the arcane shift away from the flag and drag, still chasing up the troll bubble there, cleansed away from. That's very true.
Great supports. But going on in this game, I expect LNG
to not get caught out. That's Dwan. He absorbs damage again while, okay, Chris bit too far forward. True Shot Barrage hits another goalpost as Aphelios sends some shurikens. XX into the backline. Cataclysm's there. He's a bit too far forward as another stopwatch has been used. Teleport there from Doomby to get on out rather than the hero's entrance as Khan's in the middle too. FPX are kind of inting this one. They've lost two. A third about to come through as Shenlong steals away the hero's entrance and they have no health bars. Crisp against the turret, Tien gets trouble bubbled while the rest of LNG jump on. Doomby takes down Dwan with the Shield of Durand almost coming through. Light survives. A hilarious...
We actually see Doomby go for a taunt on the other side, which just ends to Light getting a free kill.
Well, Maple hitting some key moments as well as Light at the end of that fight. 2 kills on the Aphelios here, 1 on the Zoe.
I use the word reacted because let's remember, FPX were the ones trying to set up a dive bot.
Yeah.
We're a bit over-aggressive.
Now, there's the Solar Flare. Forward he goes. There's the Ignite down, and Maple's going to get the kill. Now, Dwan trades his life, but at this point, giving Maple more kills is still a threat.
It just called FPX over-aggressive, and then Dwan goes, and overall, going back, FPX was trying to force a dive on bot, and LNG capitalizing.
Oh, but flash over the wall. Shield of Duran's here. They've actually found Maple, who will use the stopwatch in the nick of time. The ultimate to follow through, but Doomby doesn't hit anyone, while LNG are kiting back, but not quick enough. Light has some good range here with the Moonlight Vigil as XX manages to get out, but only just until Tien walks forward, end of the line, doesn't connect, while Light, underneath the turret, will die to Khan. FPX do find a little bit more this time around.
Light does not have flash. He is an immobile AD carry, so that's something really important to keep our eye on. LWX.
Oh, but Chris, bit too far forward. Instead, he doesn't care. He's going on to Light all in, but he's stuck in the middle before Doomby can get the hero's entrance. But instead, Khan shuts us up right into the backline, but Shenlong is doing his dirty work once again. The full health Silas is damn fed, as you said, Lyric, and now Doomby has to deal with him. On top, the Kingslayer needed to heal him up, and he gets it. A triple kill for the new top laner of LNG.
And Shenlong dealing this damage for them to come out ahead. He goes down early. Shenlong plays great. We see all the healing coming out from his W. Now LNG are on
play here. This game, 22 minutes in, on the verge of a Cloud Soul here for LNG in 3.5 minutes. Baron sitting up there waiting. Notice the items that were picked up after the fight as well, as we got solid kill territory. Khan is going to get ulted by Doomby. A double knock-up onto Chenlin as he gets exhausted away. Everyone chasing as the Shield of Duran does connect, and he goes down. FPX with a massive pick for this game, while XX somehow got lower. Flash Shield of Duran. Doomby locks onto target as TN chases up at Maple. Down goes the Galio as Dwan will follow up yet again. The Solar Flare on top of Chris. XX still damn low as LWX wants to turn this around, but Light still alive. Down bottom, we look towards Maple, challenging 2 players. He comes in with the paddle star, almost takes down TN.
Which has been all about these team fights.
It's kind of funny because game 1 was very much poke out and never get it.
Poke and pick. No team fight to be seen.
And then game 2 and 3 has been all team fight galore. Seems like we're on the cusp of another one starting. Look at the pings coming down. Chenlin is making his way in, and Doomby has to crash tackle him at this point. Abscond duck, but Chenlin is caught out by himself. The hero's entrance lands on top of him, and that's a mistake by the LNG top laner. Chris absorbs damage from XX while the rest of the team comes on in. But remember, Light and Maple are still alive as ultimate collateral damage. Ignite doesn't kill him, but Ezreal does. 2 big picks against LNG. Doomby, I love how you just gave me the breath of fresh air here, Lyric. 4K here in front of the pit, but someone needs to get in. TN over the wall, uses the Yomus. Still not there. It's secured by Maple, as now it's a Cloud Soul on top of LNG. And they've already lost LWX on the side of FPX. XX now getting bursted out, but look how split up they are. Light still survives, and they threw everything in the kitchen sink, but FPX just got wiped.
I just want to know what happened. Did LWX out of nowhere? But it just exploded out of nowhere, especially with LWX going down.
Baron, the push is becoming fast. Light now moves up to the turret. This is gone. There's no way FPX defend it.
Exactly.
That's what it feels like.
That's what it is, and Light, once again, does not have his flash, so if you can get on him, there's some hope, but Maple's been playing these team fights so well. Even if you take down Light, you have Chenlin and Maple to deal with.
He's seeking Maple onto the mid lane right now.
Blades doesn't quite have the afro anymore, but...
a shame. As Trouble Bubble goes wide, but not for the turret. Khan.
Oh.
This is the game-ending play if he can get it, but LNG can turn this around. In comes Khan, blind. He knocks up to Light as the hero's entrance finds Mark as well. Doomby's into the middle, but I don't think they have the damage at this point. LNG have sent in the Jarvan while Light starts hitting away into the backline. Maple's doing the same, and they're too far behind. The Hail Mary was not found as Doomby gets ignited. He's trying to TP out, but Light won't let him. Forward they go, and the upset to start the split off here for the LPL is LNG taking down the 2019 World Champions.
And all 3 carries of LNG showing up so well. Chenlin, with almost no experience, playing so well on the Silas, and Maple and Light just doing well to kite out Khan in that Hail Mary.
You wanted to see Maple with a stable performance. Well, there it is. That's what brought LNG those games 2 and 3. The team that we didn't expect to be bowing at the end of the day versus the FunPlus Phoenix.